spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is in. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Baltimore Ravens. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line.
Let's go!
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. First carry now for Alexander Madison. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. 330. Here I come again. Hey, look, 48.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense, and the first drive they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, Hawthorne. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Get that quarterback. Hey, 88.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is taken around the 12. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Jackson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Jackson going to get this out to Brown. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down.
Hey, Mike's 42. Mike's 42. Danny.
Again, Jackson. Going to throw right side here, complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 44-yard line. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
And what is going on here? Are they serious? First down, and they're in punt formation. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Rodgers to throw. And his pass incomplete.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Now Jackson. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45. And Enemy territory.
It's a gain of 18. That's good for a Baltimore first down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. They run for the first time with Justice Hill. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Jackson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Jackson. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now a first down carry by Jones. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Jackson now, going to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
He's coming. Check in.
On third down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, it's Jones. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
The Packers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing is Rodgers. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is fielded inside the 5. A good return there, 17 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Here we go, D. All day, defense.
On second down, it's Carson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Going right side here, and that's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Come on, set. Get to Pittsburgh. It's your turn. Get up. Who that?
To throw again on second down, Jackson. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Got to love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 12-yard line. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
They'll run on first down. Hawthorne. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down now, it's Carson. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you don't want to. I know, but... And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Tavon Young. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Now a give, right side. Hawthorne. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast, the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
The tackle there by Antoine Woods.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Packers' 31-yard line.
Mike, 44. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
On second down, it's Hill. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. They need to get this to the 24 on third down. On third down, it's Hill. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He finds Coleman. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Jackson now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10.
What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go.
On first down, Hawthorne. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
At the 43-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hawthorne, and 3 yards there, takes him to the 45.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Watch the screen. Pass.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
I'm coming.
They'll run on first down. Hawthorne. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They'll keep it on the ground. Hawthorne. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
On first down, Carson. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Here's Ingram. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. All runs on this drive so far. It's first and 10. Now it's Carson. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here we go. Go to base. 44 to Mike. Night, sweetheart.
On third down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll go again to Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. They're on to the second half now down in Miami. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back now in Baltimore. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Watch the run. Good stop, baby. That's a baby stop.
On second down, Hawthorne. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They'll run on first down. Hawthorne, and brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. All right, here we go. Set up.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers of reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
I'm coming after you.
On third down, Hawthorne. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Again, it's Jones. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be third down. The Packers on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run it with Jones. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And they take a knee.
Taylor on the keeper. A loss of 1. Brings up 3rd down and 11.
3 down.
And they will take a knee here.
Taylor on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Taking it about the 16. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. On first down, it's Jones. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, Off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Baltimore, they improved to 5-0 now.